who is joining us today. So we'll just wait for a few people to join us. But again, these book launches are so good because not only do you get to know about a new book that may help you or help a friend or help a family member, but you also get to meet the author and get to know a little bit about the author. So some people watch it live and some people will be watching this later, but it's a great way for people to find out a little bit more about, like I said, the book and the author as well. So we'll get started, and this morning we have the beautiful Catherine Yang, who is going to be talking all about her latest book that she's released, Step on Fear. So welcome this morning, Dr. Catherine Yang.
Glad to be here. Thank you, Susan, for having me.
Fantastic. So what we're going to talk about is a subject today that I think most people in their life are going to face. If it's not now, it might be something in the future that we need to be armed, with some tools and techniques, or maybe it's a friend or a family. What I love most about books is that books that are helping people in some way, shape or form can be the best gifts. And especially with Christmas coming up, sometimes a book, I know for me, a book receiving is something that is really good, and it's something that we learn from. So again, today we've got the amazing Catherine Yang, and we've got a book called Step on Fear. How amazing is this book here? We've got Catherine here absolutely stepping on fear, which is fantastic. So, as I said before, lots of people deal with fear in different ways and shapes and form. But who needs to read this book? What's some people that may get some benefit out of reading Step on Fear?
Sure. This book is aimed to help people with any fear in their life. So if you don't have any fear, you don't need this book. And congratulations. But if you are like some of us, facing challenges at work, issues at home, or just experiencing fear from the past, at the present, or even worried about the future, then this book is for you. So if I can narrow it down to 3 particular type of situation that you might find this book very useful. Number 1, for those who just graduate from schools or unis, you're just about to step into and start a new chapter in life. And number 2, those people who have been working for a long time, but need a career change. And number 3, an immigrant like me, who made the choice and need to learn the skills to adapt. So I hope this book will help in any stage to anyone who would experience something similar or the same as me.
Yeah, I love that, Catherine, because your parents came from, Taiwan, and what's so great about this book is you share a bit about your story, and you share a bit about who, some of the journeys and struggles that you've gone through in your life. And some people may associate fear to jumping out of an aeroplane or doing a bungee jump, but fear is a real emotion that we face. Fear of being accepted, fear of, unknown, fear of trying to please other people. There's so many things that are associated with fear that don't necessarily mean jumping out of a plane. So I think what's so great about this book is not only are you sharing some of your journey, but real tangible tools and techniques that people can use in their everyday life. Like you said, students, immigrants that have come here, just anybody in their everyday life, but especially your story touches home with a lot of people that may be trying to please their parents or their in-laws or different people like that, or even just feeling that they're trying to be perfectionists and they're a fear of failure and so many other fears that are associated with the emotion. So I wanted to share with the readers, when it comes to living with fear, it's so detrimental not only to our personal life and business, but why is it important to live without fear? What can we achieve if we live without fear?
Definitely. Thanks, Susan, for bringing such an important part To live without fear is definitely something rewarding and to find purpose in life. And it's so super important because to live happily is not about just sacrificing yourself and make other people happy. And it's definitely not about build your own happiness on other people's suffering. The true happiness is when you are feeling the joy and people around you are happy with you. So it is so important to learn how to step on fear so that you can be who you want to be, to do what you want to do, and to live a life with purpose and great joy.
Absolutely. And what I love also about, you have a saying. What's that saying? Turn your fears into cheers. Did I get that right?
Yes.
Fantastic. And what I think is really important is, what are we striving towards? We're striving towards happiness. I mean, everyone wants joy and happiness in their life, but to be able to have that, we need some tools and techniques to overcome these challenges. And like I said, step on fear is not just about, the fears that we may think. They can be just struggles that we have that but are becoming, emotions that are stopping us from achieving what we want. So as I said, there's so many tools and techniques. Could we narrow it down to maybe 3 things that maybe you could talk about that people will get out of reading the book?
Of course, life is not meant to be easy, but we can make it simple. So the 3 things that you can definitely get from this book that is valuable to you is, number 1, no matter what situation you are in, remember that you're not alone. And when you have that sense of belonging, you can reset your mind, you can find your ground, you can have the courage to start stepping on fear. And number 2, follow the framework. It's so simple and it just works. So you can implement it straight away in your everyday life. And number 3, regardless of how big the problem you think to have or how overwhelmed you felt, this book is going to teach you to repackage that dark cloud over the head and then place it under your feet and step on it.
I absolutely love that. And there really is some really tangible steps. As we can see here, there's definitely some steps there that people can follow. So Catherine has been so very generous in her launch. And what we've got is this amazing book at the moment on Amazon as our launch here today, where you can get it for a mere $3.99, which is cheaper than a cup of coffee nowadays. So if you jump on, you're supporting. I know with Catherine, she wanted to help a lot of people. And so that was what was dear to her heart, in being able to now share her message of Step on Fear and speak to audiences around the world on stage, getting all her knowledge and her techniques out of her head and into this book has been amazing. So she is so generously offering this book for $3.99 for the next 24 hours. You can jump on Amazon and grab this book and start to learn how to step on fear and really learn how to embrace your life. So before we go, like I said, the link's going to be here for people to buy. Share it around with your friends, because it really is something that they're going to get some great value from. So I'm going to hand you over to Catherine now, and she can show you her amazing book too, and tell us, is there anything else that you want to leave the readers and listeners with today, Catherine?
Oh, just go and do it. Step on fear, because you are worth it.
Fantastic. I love that. You're definitely worth it. It really is. You deserve this amazing life. So Catherine, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you so much for sharing your amazing knowledge and wisdom in the book, Step on Fear. I want everyone to grab it in the next 24 hours, because it's definitely a book that we all can get some great tips and techniques from. So thank you for being with us this morning, Catherine.
Thank you, Susan, and thank you for the whole Dean team. You actually make the dream come true.
Thanks. Bye, everyone. Grab your book now. Link below.
Bye.